You know, Kyle, some hope for the future, and some wait for the call. I think Destiny's best days are ahead. What do you think?
I think I'd rather play Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Do you not want to build bridges up to the sky?
Wayland-Yutani builds better worlds. Why should we build bridges?
That's another game I never played this year.
Yeah, fucking Alien Isolation. Such a flawed game, but beautiful. Beautiful.
I wouldn't say it's flawed, it's padded out, and I don't think that's a major flaw. It's annoying, but...
It is when, like, 2/3 of your time with it are boring. And there's no, like, fear factor, it's just irritation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play it, I watched a stream of it, and I think I had much more fun watching it get played than you had playing it.
Yeah, if, like, 2/3 of that time is somebody else being entertaining, then it's probably great.
Yeah, but, like, most of that game... I would say like 1/3 of it is with the alien and 2/3 are dealing with those cyborgs. I can't remember what they're called now.
The Walking Joes.
Yeah, the Walking Joes, and they're just boring.
Yeah, I agree. And they're just frustrating as well, because even on easy, it's like, you can't really kill them. Like, you might be able to throw like 5 firebombs at one or whatever, but then you've got no materials left. And there's like 4 more coming around the corner.
Yeah, it's not like you need the materials though, because you're going to go around the corner and there's going to be like 6 more.
Yeah, you're right. I spent a lot of my time going in and out of menus building more med packs to not waste materials. But we are not playing Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation.
Wish
we are in fact playing Destiny.
The 3rd and final story mission.
Off the new DLC, The Dark Below.
Look at all this new content the DLC's added.
You may or may not know we are visiting this very mission you spoke about last time, on the last video, with the big giant door.
Thought it looked familiar. That's kind of, you know, the trend with these videos. It's, I think this looks familiar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why did that?
It all in the first 3 hours of the game.
That ship came out of a wall. Is that supposed to happen?
Really cool. Yep. No, actually, it did glitch in there, but they do like fly out of like whatever. They have like portals and they come out of them. But it did kind of flick around a bit more than it was meant to, I think.
Oh, right. For a while, it looked like, you know, you'd come around the corner too fast and it was still clipping inside the wall.
Yep.
After it spawned.
Maybe. Probably. So this is like, it's exactly the kind of confrontation we had here the first time playing this mission. Or this area, I guess.
Yeah, and this is the trend with Destiny. You get into a wide open area, get thrown a bunch of people to kill, and then you move on.
This mission goes in some badass places. It's pretty cool. It gets really hard. Oh, I found it really hard. Maybe I was just being a turd. But, yeah, it goes in some cool places.
They made a big deal about, oh, play with your friends in a strike team. That's not really important, is it? Like, they didn't level it so you have to play with friends.
No, not for the story content. Obviously, you don't want to play the strike solo, but you can.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the raid solo either, for obvious reasons. But... yeah, like the story content, I would say play with somebody if possible, because it's probably more fun that way. But, yeah, you don't need to.
Is it harder if you play with people then? Like, do they level it up?
I don't know. I honestly haven't played any of the story missions with people. I've only played strikes. And the best time I've had with strikes is when we've been, like, a player down, there's just been 2 of us, and we've had to, like, you know, really work for it.
Yeah.
So I suspect, based off that experience, like... maybe it's a little harder, I guess, but not in any tangible way.
Honest Strike's supposed to be hard, though. It's not like a story mission.
It's more like a grind, like... they're still only half an hour long, maybe 20 minutes. And it's like, you'll fight a couple of, like, areas, like you were saying before, open areas with enemies in them. And then you'll have some really grindy boss. That just takes ages to kill.
I think we played one in the beta, didn't we?
Yeah, we played the Devil's Lair, which is on Earth.
We spent like 20 minutes trying to kill a big robot.
Well, there was 2 in there, like, at first time we didn't realise that you had to shoot at the legs of the walker. Because that first area, isn't there, with the big the spider tank thing?
Yeah.
And then obviously in the second area you have to fight the floating eye. And the floating eye you just have to shoot at till it dies, but the spider tank you can speed it up by knocking the armour off the legs.
Do you remember seeing the spider tank in the first trailer?
I remember seeing, I think it was concept art, with like them in the snow or something, with a couple of vandals.
The bit I remember, it's like, I think it was one of the first missions, and like the Guardian walks outside and you see 2 players drop down out of their ships and land next to you.
Oh yeah.
They're old friends, and then out of nowhere this spider tank appears, and then they're fighting it and they're about to lose, then another set of Guardians comes out of nowhere and helps them.
Yeah, there's not that many Guardians in the world.
Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, it's not. I've had a lot of problem getting Ascendant materials, because you need Ascending materials to get up your rare items, to level them up to get more light. But you only get them really from, what are they called, the public events? You know, the ones that just spawn, like a satellite will fly down or something, and then you and whoever's in the area have got to go and help each other.
Yeah.
And you can do them solo, they're not that hard. At least not when you're at this level. But like, yeah, some of them will be like, destroy this enemy, and the enemy's just a massive sponge, so... You might just not be able to deal enough damage to him in the time, you know?
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
a shame.
I mean, again, like, this is why you should play with people, so you don't have this problem.
Yes, but I don't think games necessarily should be built around, we want you to play with these with people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, if they're not going to call it, like, I think MMOs should be played with people, that's the idea.
Yeah.
But they're not going to call us an MMO, and they refuse to, so... They kind of fucked themselves, really, didn't they?
I will happily call this an MMO and shit on it because it's not like an MMO.
It's the combat's better than an MMO that I played.
You saying this is better than SWTOR?
In terms of story, no. But
In terms
I
of
enjoy shooting
anything,
more than I do hitting keys, so... There you go.
you can play Sniper on SWTOR.
Yeah, but you still have to, like, hit 1, and then 2, and then maybe 4,
Plug in a
and then 2 again.
PS controller. Plug in a DualShock 4.
There is no controller support for that game. I don't have, like, 30 buttons on my controller.
Map out each area of the touchpad for a button.
You draw a cursor on screen and use the analog sticks, because that's fast.
Yeah.
So, we've also been here before, in case you couldn't tell.
I don't recognize this place.
It's in the Hellmouth. I kind of enjoyed this level just because a lot of shit exploded. Like,
Yeah. This, I know we were talking about Alien earlier, this reminds me of Alien, like the walls and the floor.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Called that out in the review for a few areas. Very alien inspired.
Yeah.
I fucking hate these shriekers. Like, they're bad enough anyway because they just shoot at you and they'll like close up and not take damage at range. But when you kill them, they'll like fire out a burst of I don't know, energy, I guess, and it will like seek onto you really well and just like destroy your ass. As you'll see right now, but
Yeah.
I haven't found a good way around them.
It's like the needle.
Yeah, kind of. These don't super combine though; they just explode individually. Yeah, this game does look nice, so I like it. I like the art.
It looks nice, but it just seems boring. I don't like...
It is a candidate for our Game of the Year discussions of best looking game.
Candidate does not mean it will win.
No, but you know, it's pretty good. When I think of visually striking games, this is like technically really impressive. Or it's technically good. And then
Yeah.
artistically it's like just beautiful.
Well, when you say technically good, isn't this 30 FPS?
Yeah. I
Is
think.
Is it 1080p?
It is on a PS4, yeah.
Fair enough then.
Looks sharp, this looks sharp. Like there's no really muddy textures.
Yeah.
Like we were playing Battlefield just the other day and I was surprised at how muddy the crate was.
You know Battlefield is 60 FPS 1080p?
Is it? 1080?
Yep.
I'm impressed. Even on the
Maybe-
Xbox One.
Yep, maybe just because your TV is so colourful, you notice this stuff.
Yeah, maybe. My TV is insane. Like, games always look washed out when we've done recordings of them, because I'm like, oh, why does this look like shit? And then I realise,
Yeah.
contrast is just so high on my screen. It's pretty. I think it's why I liked Sunset Overdrive so much. My eyes kept bleeding when I was looking at bright things.
Oh,
I should preface. I like the art of that game. That game is not good.
Sunset Overdrive looks like a clown vomited on the screen. There's that
Yep.
many colours.
I thought you were going to say you did something else on the screen, but vomit's fine.
That's Portal.
Pardon?
That's Portal. It's all white rooms with like little bits of colour.
Oh. Fair enough.
I assume that's where you were going.
No, I was going for a clown, like literally just, you know, unleashing his load on the screen.
That's what I meant. There's even white gel in Portal 2.
Yeah, I didn't. Portal 2's not a good game. Anyway, moving on before everyone hates it. Big open room, lots of enemies running at you. You've seen this
Looks
before.
familiar.
I don't know what those big green things do. I think they're
That's-
kind of like mines.
I was just about to ask what they are.
Fuck it. Don't stand on them, they explode.
That's
I
like
think that's all they do. I don't think
like-
there's any other mechanics, but
that's like the classic MMO thing where it's like, oh, there's something on the floor glowing, don't touch it.
yeah, pretty much. They don't really introduce many mechanics like that in the strike content either, which is disappointing. But that's where the raid differentiates itself a little bit. It's more like, you know, more mechanics just built for those areas.
Yeah. Tell me, right, what is the difference between a strike and a raid?
Well, a raid will take you like multiple hours potentially. A strike will take you no more than 30 minutes.
But why would it take hours to do a raid?
Because it's like, well, for a start, everything's like so much harder. Like in just terms of like how many bullets they take, how much damage they deal, and then there's like conditions. Like I know in the initial raid in this game, there's like this whole concept of like having a shield and then being like your screen will go black over time as you get hit with this darkness or whatever. So it's just really easy to wipe, and if you can't see anything on the screen, then you're obviously going to get killed in seconds.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just harder in every way. And some of them have like, some of them you just won't be able to damage enemies unless they're in a certain state, and they don't tell you that.
But is it still set up in the style of a strike where there's like, you do a certain amount of, you know, running and gunning in hallways, then you fight like a mini boss, then you move on and do the same thing?
Yeah, kind of. Like the opening area was basically endless waves of enemies until you like capture these different points and stop the enemy from capturing them. But they were harder enemies, and then you had to split your team up. 6 people.
Yeah.
This is
Tell
a
me-
new area.
Tell me, why is Tom Clancy stuck in that crystal in the center of the room?
Do you mean Tom Clancy, or do you mean the guy from Splinter Cell?
I meant the guy from Splinter Cell. Tom
I
Clancy.
can't remember his name either, don't worry about it.
Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher. That's him.
He's trapped. That's where he's been. That's why he's had no games out.
Yeah, basically he's trapped in there with all of the Rainbow Six team. That's why Patriot got canned.
What's the new one? Is it Guardian?
Siege. Rainbow
Siege.
Six Siege.
There you go. Yeah.
That
That
game
looked
looks
really
cool.
cool.
Looks like Counter-Strike, but you can blow up walls.
It's gonna. I hope it will launch as it was in that E3 trailer.
I don't know if you've seen a Ubisoft game in the last 2 years, but
That's what I mean.
they're all going down the shitter, so don't hold out hope. I've got a copy of Unity, which arrived a couple of days ago. I still haven't opened it. I should probably check that out. I was kind of hoping to get it pre-patch, see how it was in its original state.
I was gonna say, you're going to review it or not?
I don't know. I don't want to play another Assassin's Creed game, so probably not.
Well,
Like, that's the sad thing, is if I review it, I'm probably not going to like it, because I don't want to play it.
yeah.
So I just might not bother. We'll definitely do some something on it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, people are French, so I can't wait.
Are they though? Because they all speak English and have English accents.
I hope there's somebody who sounds French. Even if it's English people putting on French accents, like anything.
Yeah. There is a video of an interrupting Frenchman in Unity, and it's pretty funny.
Is his face like just half melted?
No,
Two
like
floating eyes and a mouth.
I guess all the in-game cutscenes are all the cutscenes are rendered in-game. It's like Arno's talking to some major character, and there's just 2 random French people in the backgrounds that like have rendered in during the cutscene, and he just starts like swearing at Arno in French, and then starts laughing at him. Like mid cutscenes, so you can't actually hear what this character's saying to you.
Yeah, I've seen a few like that with just people like whizzing by, or crowds of people just all leaning over on a weird angle.
Yeah,
It's like, just seems fucked.
I would happily play a game like that.
Yeah, but for how long? How long can you deal with it and then like constantly falling through the floor before you just can't be asked? And those games are long as well. I don't want to have to restart that.
Yeah. I really like Black Flag, but even then I had to restart a few missions, and that was annoying.
I don't think I had any technical problems with Black Flag.
It wasn't technical problems, it was just like me failing, or I was trying to go for the
Oh.
perfect synchronization.
Yeah.
And then you've
what are you
gotta-
doing? Like,
Sail a ship for 10 minutes to get back to where you were.
I love the ship combat. It was the best part. I never wanted to go on land.
Yeah, but
Like,
when it's like follow this ship for 10 minutes and don't get spotted, that's kind of annoying.
yeah. Especially on some of the later missions where you've got like fleets of enemy ships, which you can get spotted, but then you're gonna have to fight your way out of like
Yeah.
all these galleons and stuff. That's a good game though. I did enjoy 4. I don't think of it as Assassin's Creed though. I just think it's a cool pirate game.
Yeah, I think the same.
I don't actually know what's going on at the minute. We're fighting the soul of Crota, that's a giant rock. Like, I've got no more guidance for you than that. Because you don't fight Crota until the raid. And you've still gotta, like, fight his eyes and stuff. We'll see that in a later video.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is it like Exodia where he splits into pieces and you have to fight each piece?
I wish, like, Crota would just pull down his pants and obliviate. I can't speak English, I got so excited.
It's too busy speaking about French.
Oh, parlez-vous
En français?
avec moi? No, that's not even a sentence.
What isn't?
It's not even whatever shit we just uttered.
There's a reason I'm not French.
I wish I could be French. I wish you could have that je ne sais quoi. See, wasn't that sexy? I thought it was sexy.
My knees are weak.
And your arms are heavy.
And there's vomit on my sweater already. So yeah, Destiny. We got off topic.
Oh, you've got to make your own entertainment because...
Destiny doesn't provide it.
No, that's not true. That fucking... You see that weapon core on my screen there?
Yeah.
I've had that for like months. Because you have to like smelt down 10 rare or higher fusion weapons to get that exotic fusion gun. Which is like... You don't get that many drops anyway, not at rare level.
So you have to melt down rare stuff to get rare stuff?
No, to get an exotic. It's a bit better. And you can only equip one exotic weapon at a time, and I don't want it in the first place. So it seems like... But it seems like I could get rid of the bounty, but then, you know... Then I'm not getting an exotic weapon, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I say, the Daft Punk helmet's cool.
Oh yeah, the glowy one. That's my exotic, but... Yeah, I've bought some new gear actually. They've redone a lot of the vendors from this DLC. So I've got like a furry arm patch. That's... Don't get excited. You can't fuck my arm, but... There is it might actually be in one of the later videos. I don't know if I have it yet, but... I picked that up for some Vanguard marks. They've added like 4 new currencies as well, so that's fun.
But that just means you have to grind 4 times as more.
Yep. Yep, you're right. Pretty much. But you can now buy, you know, the crafting materials like the helium filaments and stuff.
Yeah.
You need to upgrade weapons that you used to have to farm for. You can now just buy them with Vanguard marks in the tower, which is really cool.
How long until they add in microtransactions to buy them with real money?
I wish they would, and then I'd have way more fun with this game. I know people like to hate on microtransactions, but they increase my fun by reducing my time. That's true for most games, I find, but this game would... No, because then it would be even dirtier, wouldn't it? Because then they're like charging extortionate amounts for DLC. The game. And then microtransactions.
I was going to say, if you love microtransactions, you're going to love Unity.
Can't wait, gonna buy all that Helix.
Praise it.
I don't know. Isn't that whole game like you can see that it's like Animus for home users or something? Like it seems really cool.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't like what they did with the Animus in Assassin's Creed 4. How it was like, oh yeah, we're now making video games with the Animus.
Yeah.
That's kind of dumb. I liked it when it was more like secretive.
I hate the lore in Assassin's Creed, so anything that's like reductive and dumb is like the best possible outcome for me.
I hate the parts in 4 where it's like, yeah, you're actually in... I think you're in Chicago? That's where, like, they're... Oh no, you're in France.
You're inside Watch Dogs somehow, and Niall fucking Pierce just hacked your Animus and put you in France for some reason.
There are straight-up CTOS references in Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, stop it, Ubisoft.
Yep.
Make more games like Destiny. I unlocked the Murmur. Right, another fusion weapon I don't want.
But it's got a cool name.
It's like actually a different skin, so it's not just the same gun reskinned. It is in fact a new gun. So now these 2 missions here, one's called Extermination, where you just defeat a load of knights and wizards. And the other one is the Urn of Sacrifice, which requires Xur to be in the tower. Which he's not during the week, so I'll have to wait for the weekend for that one.
Yep.
So, bienvenue.